See, I've unboxed it. As I say, we've got plenty of bags and bits and pieces. There's a bag here which I think is the platter, yeah, which is here. It's a nice solid looking platter. We'll come to that now. As all good people, I've not actually read the instructions for this yet, so we're going to work it out as we go along. So there's a turntable mat as well, and then there's a box of the accessories. Okay, so what have we got in here? I'm hoping got a power cable. And we've got a few other bits to it as well. So the setup, as I say, this is the Aiwa model. For this model, comes with Bluetooth built in. So we'll see if we can get it to running. Now, looking in here, what we've got, there's a UK plug adapter. That looks like it's that's the counterweight for the tone arm, which is great. And we'll get them in, and that's the US, that must be the European plug which goes in the back of there. And here, okay, we've got a centre for the 45s, for hollowed out 45s, which is quite a nice touch. And what else we got? We've got a few other bits of pieces of instruction manual. We've got a USB to USB cable for recording stuff, which is great. And we've got a set of phono leads, also great. We've got all the usual warranty information, premium dive setup guide. That's the guide you may want to look at to set it up first. And I'll go away, maybe have a quick read of it now. Comes in a few other things as well. That's the usage guides and bits and pieces there as well. So there's a CD for MP3 encoding, so that's good news. So basically, I'm assuming that's for Windows and Mac OS. So Windows 10, 8, 7, Vista, and even XP. There we go. And a Mac OS 10.6. So that's useful. That's if you want to do any encoding from the machine as well. So there's quite a lot in this anyway. So great. Okay, so I'm just looking to see. This is obviously a belt drive turntable. Where the belt is. Okay, that's the one thing I haven't seen yet. So we'll carry on having a look for that in a moment. Okay, now back to it, and basically just carry on having a look through how to unpack this. So I've done a bit, just didn't do much research. I just had a quick ferret around. Things are quite obvious. So I'll just take this label off here before I forget, off the tone arm. Always quite nice, but I suppose that'd be good from a display point of view. You could leave that there. Now, in terms of the belt is here, and it's already actually underneath on the bottom of the platter, so it's already attached. Now, don't take it off straight away because you'll come into it. So I'm assuming the yellow tabs and everything here. Now, this isn't actually shown in the instruction guide. So this is the metal platter for the turntable. There's like a groove here, which is like a guiding groove, which has got these black plastic rings on it here. And basically this tape you're going to use to actually put the tape over the drive spindle, which is here. So what you need to do, and this is without any guess, and as I say, there's no instructions for this on the guide. It shows the platter already coming assembled. So I'm assuming to some extent you're going to do this. So what you're going to do is, I should have done it the other way, is to push that up and then hang on to the top of there. And basically you're going to use this to basically pull the tape out over where it's running over the spindle there. Okay, so I can show a bit clearer, but let me just see if I can zoom in. I'm going to use my new feature on this. Oh, hang on, no, maybe I can't. Oh well, I hope I was going to be able to zoom in there. Maybe not. Anyway, okay. So basically, here we go. So what we've got here then is this has then gone over the drive spindle there, and what we're going to try and do is then remove the tape from there as well. Hopefully, I've got no nails at all on my fingers, so I'm just going to pull that out. So there we go. That platter then is now installed, and the drive, and it's a belt drive turntable, so that platter is then installed and ready to go. Okay, so that's looking pretty good. So the tape is going to come off here in terms of the stylus guard. Okay, it's a bit of tape they've left on there, and basically we need to put the counterbalance weight on the end. Now again, in the guide, they haven't really. They've thought about releasing the tone arm, and there's a tie on there as well, just on this bit here, which again isn't obvious. It's mentioned in the instructions, and as I say, the instruction fold-out sheet does seem to be pretty good. It's just strange it didn't have any mention whatsoever of how to put the belt on the platter. But there we go. So we're going to mount the Now the tone arm weight. So this is the balance end, the end of the tone arm. So that's the cover that goes across the stylus. We've just taken that off for now. And basically what we've got here then is the weight that goes on the slides on the back. And I'm just going to push it across, and it should slide across onto the tone arm, and it should then just screw on, which it seems to do okay. Now what I can do is you can probably just do some adjustment on that. Now it's saying on the tone arm, there's a little mark, and it said should be on the side of the slide here, and in terms of the adjustment it should be set onto 3, which is what it says on the guide. Now if you look here on the guide, it's saying that should be set to 0, okay, and then the instructions aren't pretty good from here on in anyway, okay, so that should be all there. It shows you to take the cover off. Now a lot of people forget to take the stylus cover off the cover before trying to play it, and then we go from there. So as you can see, pretty good instructions, pretty well laid out. As I say, just strange they didn't do the thing on the platter anyway. So what we'll do, I'll take a quick stop and then we'll go through. So we've got the platter on the turntable. I put the weight on the tone arm. Now looking at the instructions, as I say, there's the quick start instructions which are there as well. Looking at that, there is a fair bit. There's a bit you can do with it anyway in terms of some instructions. Now what it's saying is for doing the weight adjustment is do it by eye. We'll have a look at that in a second anyway. So right, so we put the turntable on. We're going to put let's put the mat on as well. We've got a nice Aiwa mat which goes over the top. Okay, so that goes there. Okay, that sort of settles out. We've taken the there was a tie holding the tone arm down, so we've done that. Okay, so we're going to basically go for the plug. Now the plug is obviously a Swiss style or German, Swiss style 2-pin plug, okay, which goes into a UK adapter. I must admit, I'm not that impressed with that adapter. It's quite lightweight, the fused plug. It's a standard figure of 8 type end, so possibly you might want to. We'll have a look, see how this goes in terms of playing around with that. So I'm just going to plug this in. Just bear with me. So anyway, yeah, I've just plugged that in and we'll see how we get on. Okay, now I'm assuming we've got power. So in terms of the quick start guide, it's got an on and off switch, which is at the back. So what we'll do a walk around afterwards, and I'll go through how this works. So that's now on, and let's see what we've got in terms of the speed. So it's actually come up with a bit of a colour. Okay, so we've got a colour and we've got the tone arm as well. So if I put that to speed, 33, and then if I move that across, there we go. Basically, it starts going. So straightforward. So I'll just take a stop again, and what we'll try and do, I'll find a record, and we'll try and then get the sort of the Bluetooth and everything for it paired, and I'll just sort out this power lead so we know where we are. We're going to play a record, and a nice Australian pressing of Bad Company's first album. If you're interested on the Island record label, not being pink rim, it's raw red, but actually this is New Zealand pressing rather than Australia, so it's a New Zealand copy. Anyway, let's see how it goes. So I've got a small Bluetooth speaker, a Bose speaker, so I'm going to put this into pairing mode.
ANDY's iPhone 2.
Hang on. Let's see if I can pair this across. Anyway, here we go. So we're going to turn the Bluetooth on, touch it once, and we're going to try and pair.
Mobile device not found. Ready to pair.
Let's see if it's going to pair. This is always the thing I find with, let's just turn that off again. Let's try again. That's going to try and pair now. Let's see if we can get this to pair. Come on. Now it says in the manual, might take...
Connected to Aiwa APX 680BT.
That seems like it's done it. Now it says that it could take, the pairing could take something like 60 to 120 seconds. So that's taken a bit less than that. Let's see what happens now. So... Right, I'm just going to check that out because I've just noticed that on that's a bit disconcerting in that I think there's a little So one of the things you need to check, and I've just seen that now, on the mat is lifted up slightly. So the mat has obviously been creased in transit, and it's just lifted up the vinyl. So it's worth checking that out. So I'm going to just try that again and see what happens. But that's really interesting. Interesting. So again, notice there's a slight skip. If we play up more on the inside, I think it's going to be fine. Now, one thing that'd be worth doing is to making sure there is no... Well, okay, sound quality, I must admit, is quite impressive. I like that a lot. Now, what we've got to do is try and sort out, we can flatten the bit on the plastic mat. Good, yeah, excellent. Okay, let's just take that back up. I'm going to use the arm this time. So I haven't done anything in terms of the counterweight or the weight adjustment on the tone arm. So I've just done it by eye. It seems to be playing okay. You don't want it to track too heavy or too light, but it's a fairly basic setup. Now, the other thing I notice around the head shell and everything else is that actually you can replace this. It's got a standard head shell and stylus. So I'm thinking you could put you could easily upgrade this to like a straightforward Autofoam OM cartridge, which would probably be a better stylus. Again, I'll do a quick walk around with a video camera in terms of the turntable in a minute. But the challenge we've got, I think, is on the platter where the mat has gone down. I think the mat isn't gone down square. There's basically the mat, yeah, has got a big lump in it where it's been creased in transit. So that's something to look out for, because that's something that's actually causing the record to lift. Now, I'm assuming over time, with a bit of weight on that, that's going to go down in terms of it'll settle down. But let's see if I can push this down now, and we push this back on, like we bring it over, and I'm just going to have a quick check. It's better, but there's still a bit of lift on this, so that's what it was causing to skip to start with. So that's something to look out for, I think. Okay, so what we're going to do is try and play a 45 that we've got. I'll take ones we've got from the shop. So move it to 45. I'm hitting the Bluetooth again. Hopefully it'll pair automatically with the speaker. That would be nice if it did. It's thinking about it. Okay.
Connected to Aiwa APX 680BT. Aiwa APX 680BT. Disconnected. Ready to pair. Connected to Aiwa APX 680BT. So
it seems to do a bit of a weird pairing arrangement, but we'll play that by ear as we go forward. Now I'm just going to basically, let's see, just on the tone arm here, so I can wind it out a bit. That's not going down enough, so possibly bring that forward. Let's just see how it goes. And I think I could get the scales.
Aiwa APX 680BT disconnected.
Oh, okay, that's why I must have. That's interesting, because I just absolutely just brushed across the touch screen of the touch button on there.
Disconnected. Ready to pair. Connected to Aiwa APX 680BT.
That's interesting. Be careful when you're doing stuff, because I just brushed across that button and that disabled it. So let's just take this down now. Yeah. Now, is that coming down? No, it's not. So I think we just need a bit more. Let's see. Let's just bring that forward a bit. Yeah, it needs a bit more tracking. It needs a bit of weight on the front end. So that may have been what we had. Okay, I think when you get this set up, it's good. So all in all, looks pretty good, I must admit. Yeah, I think the only sort of thing to resolve, I think, is the mat. I think the mat isn't as flat as I'd hoped, and I think where it was in the box, the mat has been slightly damaged. Now that will come out in time, but there might be a good argument to upgrade the mat or use a cork mat on it with a platter. That's something to consider. The